Hi, welcome to KJ and Tony Move to France.
Today, we're going to talk about a subject that everybody goes through when they're in that limbo period between having made a decision to move and actually making the move.
So, specifically, we're going to be talking today about what we can't do at this point, what we can do, and the emotional toll of being patient or trying to be patient during this limbo phase.
So, our house has been on the market for about 6 weeks, and we do have somebody interested. They're coming from out of town. They'll be here in a couple of days. And we hope that turns into something, but we don't really know at this point.
Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, there are things that we just cannot do. We cannot finalize our visa paperwork. We cannot even look at apartments because realtors are not going to want to be showing us apartments unless we have a date as to when we're moving. And so our timeline hinges on the sale of the house. We also cannot book a moving service. We need to book international movers because obviously we're not going to be taking everything. I say obviously, but we would not be really smart to be taking everything because it is quite expensive to move to another country. But we do want to keep some items, so we can't even talk to them until we have some sort of timeline.
And the timeline is more critical this time than the last time we did this because the housing market's changed. In the past, you may put your house up for sale and sold pretty quickly. The Florida housing market is not like that now. We're seeing people taking 3 months, 6 months to sell their house, but you don't know. It could happen with these people that come and look, or it may not happen for a while. So it all depends on the sale of the house. But here's the part we really wanted to share because it's important to us. There are things we can be doing in this period. And we are.
And we are. And some of those things that we are doing are researching neighborhoods. So in our last video, we shared with you the neighborhoods that we think will be the best neighborhood choices for us, and our favorite being the Port area. We've also been able to put together a budget. So that was something that we've spent time doing. And there are documents that we can prepare for in terms of applying for the visas. And we've put a lot of time and effort into researching the best possible visas that make sense for us and our family, all three of us, because the three of us are actually applying for three different types of visas. So there's preparation that can be done for that. But that final piece of actually applying and getting your appointment and all of that, we cannot do until the house sells. We've also been focusing on downsizing. And although there's a lot more downsizing to be done, which we're going to get back on track after the holidays, I think over the holidays, we've kind of slowed down. We were doing a really good job of taking things to the thrift store that we've been donating and finding family members that we think can use certain items that we know that we're not going to be taking to France with us.
Why were you looking at me when you said downsizing?
Because there are some of us who have more downsizing to do than others. That's why I was looking at you. So Tony does. You have to admit, come on, you have a bit more to downsize than I do. Come on.
I think I'll say nothing.
It's true. Trust me, it's true. So we do have some additional downsizing to do, but that's something that we can focus on. And we also need to focus on our why. And that's something that we do focus on. And something that has been really helpful for us is doing these videos and having the support of our viewers like you. We can't tell you how encouraging that is for us. And so I hope our videos are also encouraging to you if you're someone who's planning to do the same, because it really has been helpful for us.
Absolutely.
So thank you definitely for being here. And we bring up the filming of the videos as being a factor, a motivator, an encouragement for us, because this limbo, this period of time, this waiting, this in between, I feel like it's like the hallway. We're in the hallway of our old life, so to speak, and our new life in that period of waiting. And the videos have been very helpful in keeping us connected to our dream, connected to, feeling that momentum, right? Encouraging that continual momentum. So you may have noticed, if you have been following our journey and watching our videos, that we went through a period of time where we weren't filming videos as frequently. Maybe we were filming once a month, and we were doing primarily focusing on the travel. And ever since you got sick, I feel like that was like the encouragement that we received from people, the love, the support. That was like a boost in the arm for me. I felt like that was a boost. And so we've been filming these videos every week since then, because it helps with that impatience, that frustration, that stress that comes during the waiting period.
What helps me more than the filming, but as it's a result of the filming, is the interaction that we have with people through their comments on our videos, whether it was so appreciated when I got sick, how many people had nice things to say and whatnot. When I got better, again, people had nice things to say. That interaction is really, really helpful. But I feel like this subject we're talking about, the emotional part of it, has multiple stages, right? We've got the feeling we're in right now that the house is for sale and we don't know how long it's going to take, right? So that's stressful. It's not a financial stress. It's an emotional stress. It's we want to get there as soon as we can. That makes sense. Yet we can't pull the trigger until the house sells. So we've got that. Then we've got the stress of waiting for our visa paperwork to come through, right? And we've done that before. So we don't think we're going to have a problem with that. But who knows? You never know, right?
Well,
so if I can just
no, a word. That's not the first time that's happened. Yeah.
Well, apparently our backdrop felt pretty stressful too.
All the stress. Our backdrop felt it and fell.
But if I can just finish, the last stage, I think, is finding the apartment that we want in the neighborhood that we want, the size that we want, meeting our criteria. That's not as easy as it is in the United States. So, to me, there's all these levels where you get into, and it becomes hurry up and wait, so to speak, right? The visa, hurry up, get the paperwork, and now we got to wait.
Well, what you're talking about essentially are different phases of waiting, different phases of not only waiting, but uncertainty, right? Because we have the phase that we're in right now, which is the waiting for our house to sell and the uncertainty of when that's going to be. It could be next week, or it could be months from now. And then once the house sells, we have the waiting and the uncertainty of the visas and whether they'll be approved or not, or whether we'll have to make changes to the types of visas. And then the next phase of actually arriving in France, but not knowing yet where our true home is going to be in France. So there's a lot of different phases of waiting.
But here we are.
But here we are, and we thank you again for being here, because you make this emotional, this very difficult and emotional phase, every phase that we anticipate going through from here on out, to be so much better. We read every single comment, by the way, so your comments really do help us, and we can't thank you enough for being here.
Exactly. And one day, this waiting period is going to make that first morning in France that much sweeter.
And that much more meaningful.
Au revoir.
A biento.